Have you ever imagined that something as simple as the way you walk could silently increase your risk of a stroke overnight? As a brain doctor, I was shocked when I uncovered the connection. We often think about high blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol as the main culprits behind a stroke. But what if I told you that even the way you move your body every single day could be putting your brain in danger without you even noticing? This might sound unbelievable at first, but let me assure you, it's real, and it's happening to thousands of people right now. If you are over 50, or if you have loved ones in that stage of life, what I'm about to reveal could literally save a life. Because stroke is not something that only happens to other people. It can strike suddenly, overnight, changing your independence, your memory, and your future in ways that are irreversible. The good news is that knowledge is power. Once you understand the walking habit that raises your risk, you'll also discover how small, intentional changes in the way you move can protect your brain, strengthen your circulation, and safeguard your most precious ability, living independently, with clarity and energy. And since the right information can literally change your life, do one simple thing right now. Hit the subscribe button here on the channel and leave your like. That way YouTube knows this is an important topic for you and will keep sending you practical tips that truly keep your body strong and your brain protected. Stay with me, because in just a moment, you'll see exactly why this hidden walking habit is so dangerous and how to correct it before it's too late. Before we dive into the hidden walking habit itself, it's important to truly understand what's at stake. Stroke is not just another medical condition. It is one of the leading causes of disability and death worldwide, and it often strikes without warning. Every year, millions of people experience a stroke, and for many, life is never the same again. A stroke happens when the blood supply to the brain is suddenly cut off, either because a blood vessel is blocked or because it bursts. In a matter of minutes, brain cells begin to die. And unlike other parts of the body, once brain cells are gone, they do not come back. That's why time is critical and why prevention is the most powerful tool you have. The consequences are devastating. For some, it means losing the ability to speak clearly, to remember simple things, or even to recognize loved ones. For others, it means being confined to a wheelchair, dependent on others for the simplest daily tasks like eating, bathing, or walking. And in too many cases, a stroke takes a life in an instant. Now, here's the part that many people don't realize. Strokes don't always announce themselves with obvious signs. Some small strokes, often called silent strokes, happen quietly in the background, slowly damaging memory, balance, and mobility over time. A person might feel a little more forgetful, a little more tired, or unsteady when walking, without realizing that their brain has already been injured. And here's where this becomes urgent for you. While high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol are well-known risk factors, recent studies and clinical observations have revealed that even certain daily habits as simple as the way you walk, can quietly set the stage for a stroke. That means you could be carrying out a routine, thinking it's harmless, while in reality it is increasing the strain on your brain's blood vessels. Think about it. How many times do you walk during the day? From the kitchen to the living room, to the grocery store, around your neighborhood, each step matters more than you think. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you which walking habit silently raises your risk, especially overnight, when your body should be resting and repairing itself. So what exactly is this walking habit that can raise your risk of a stroke overnight? It's not about whether you walk fast or slow, or even how many steps you take each day. The real danger comes from how and when you walk, and the strain that certain patterns place on your brain and blood vessels. One of the most overlooked habits is walking immediately after a heavy meal, especially at night. Many people believe that going for a walk right after dinner helps with digestion, But here's the hidden danger. After a large meal, your body diverts a significant amount of blood to the digestive system. If you then force your body into movement, especially in the late evening, circulation to the brain can become unstable. This instability, combined with nighttime blood pressure fluctuations, creates the perfect environment for a stroke while you sleep. Another risky pattern is walking with poor posture or shuffling steps. Many older adults, without realizing it, develop a habit of leaning forward, dragging their feet, or taking steps that are too short. This walking style is not just inefficient, it actually strains circulation, reduces oxygen delivery to the brain, and increases the likelihood of blood pooling in the legs. Over time, these small inefficiencies in movement create bigger risks for blood clots and cerebrovascular accidents. And then there is the habit of walking late at night or in the early hours of the morning, when blood pressure naturally dips. During these hours, your body is more vulnerable to sudden fluctuations in circulation. If you combine this with fatigue, dehydration, or even poorly controlled blood pressure, the risk of a stroke overnight climbs sharply. Let me give you a story to make this real. I once treated a patient, let's call her Maria. She was 67, active and proud of her routine. Every night after dinner, she would take a brisk walk around the block, thinking she was doing the best thing for her health. One morning, she didn't wake up as usual. Her family rushed her to the hospital, and we discovered she had suffered a severe stroke during the night. She survived, but the damage left her unable to speak clearly and dependent on her husband for daily care. What shocked her family the most was that she thought she was doing the right thing by walking every night. This is why it's so important to understand that not all walking is created equal. Walking is supposed to be one of the healthiest activities you can do, but when done at the wrong time or with poor technique, it can actually work against you. Now, you may be wondering, so does this mean I should stop walking altogether? Absolutely not. Walking is still one of the most powerful tools to protect your brain, heart, and overall health. The key lies in how you walk, when you walk, and the posture you maintain while walking. If you pay attention to these details, walking can transform from a hidden risk into one of your greatest defenses against stroke. And that is exactly what we are going to explore next. How your body reacts to these walking patterns and why the wrong approach can silently damage your brain while you sleep. To understand why this walking habit is so dangerous, we need to look inside the body and see what actually happens when you move in the wrong way or at the wrong time. Imagine your circulatory system as a vast highway of blood vessels. The heart is the engine, pumping blood forward with every beat, while the arteries and veins are the roads carrying oxygen and nutrients to every cell. Now, just like a real highway, traffic must flow smoothly. If there's congestion, blockages, or sudden detours, accidents happen. In your body, those accidents can mean blood clots, vessel ruptures, or reduced oxygen supply to the brain, all of which can trigger a stroke. When you walk right after a heavy meal, your digestive system demands priority. Blood is redirected to the stomach and intestines to help break down food. This is like closing several lanes of a highway during rush hour. If you force your body to move at this time, circulation to your brain can become unstable, causing fluctuations in blood pressure. These fluctuations are especially risky at night because while you sleep, your blood pressure naturally dips. The sudden shifts create stress on already fragile blood vessels in the brain. Poor walking posture makes things worse. If you lean forward or drag your feet, your muscles are not engaging properly. This means your calf muscles, the second heart of your body, are to pumping blood effectively back up toward the brain. Think of it like a water pump that's running too weakly. Instead of flowing smoothly, blood begins to stagnate in the lower body, increasing the risk of clot formation. Those clots, if dislodged, can travel upward and block blood flow to the brain. Walking at night or early in the morning adds yet another layer of risk. During these hours, your nervous system is in a different state. Your body is programmed for rest, not activity. Blood vessels may constrict more easily, and your brain is more vulnerable to oxygen shortages. Combine this with natural dehydration from the day, possible fatigue, and other conditions like hypertension, and you have the perfect storm for a stroke to occur while you're asleep. The brain is an organ that consumes an enormous amount of energy, about 20% of all the oxygen your body uses. It has no storage tank. This means that any interruption in oxygen and nutrient delivery, even for a short period, can result in cell death. That's why strokes are so devastating. They happen fast, and the brain doesn't have a backup system. But here's the key point. These risks don't come from walking itself. They come from how and when you walk. Done correctly, walking strengthens circulation, supports brain function, and lowers stroke risk. Done incorrectly, it's like adding cracks to a dam, holding back water eventually. Something gives. And now that you understand what's happening inside your body, we can go deeper into the warning signs. Because before a stroke strikes in full force, your body often whispers small signals that many people overlook. Recognizing them could make all the difference. Now that you know what happens inside your body when you walk at the wrong time or with poor posture, let's talk about the consequences you might already be experiencing, often without realizing what they mean. The truth is, strokes rarely appear out of nowhere. Your body almost always tries to send small warnings first. The problem is that most people dismiss these signs as just getting older or nothing serious. But ignoring them can be a costly mistake. One of the earliest red flags is unexplained dizziness or loss of balance. You might stand up and feel a sudden wave of unsteadiness, or notice that your steps are less secure than before. Many brush this off as fatigue, but it's often your brain signaling that blood flow is not stable. Another silent warning is unusual fatigue after walking. If a short stroll leaves you more drained than refreshed, it could mean your circulation isn't supporting your brain effectively. Remember, walking should energize you, not leave you feeling weaker. Then there's trouble with memory and concentration. Perhaps you've noticed you forget simple things, like where you left your keys, or find it harder to focus on tasks. Small, silent strokes can cause this kind of subtle decline, gradually stealing sharpness from your mind. Some also experience numbness or tingling in the arms or legs, often ignored as poor posture or a pinched nerve. In reality, these sensations can indicate restricted blood flow and microdamage to the brain's communication pathways. And don't overlook changes in speech, even mild ones. If words occasionally come out slurred, or you struggle to find the right phrase, it's a sign that your brain's language center may be under stress. All of these signs may seem minor when they happen occasionally, but together they form a dangerous pattern that should never be ignored. They are like smoke before the fire, early whispers from your body begging for attention. Here's the most important part. When these signals appear, it doesn't mean it's too late. It means you still have a chance to act before the damage becomes permanent. And the good news is, by correcting the way you walk, adjusting the timing and improving posture, you can turn things around. So let's move forward and talk about solutions. Because the same habit that can quietly raise your risk can also be reshaped into one of the most powerful tools to protect your brain. We've seen how the wrong walking habits can silently put your brain at risk. But here's the good news. Walking, when done correctly, can actually become one of the most powerful shields against stroke and cognitive decline. It's not about giving up walking, it's about walking with intention. Let's start with timing. One of the simplest adjustments you can make is to avoid walking right after a heavy meal, especially at night. Instead, wait at least 60 to 90 minutes before heading out. This gives your body time to focus on digestion and allows circulation to stabilize before you add physical movement. Walking earlier in the day, particularly in the morning, is far more beneficial. At this time, your blood pressure is more balanced, Your body is refreshed, and natural sunlight helps regulate your internal clock, boosting both mood and brain function. Next is posture. The way you hold your body while walking has a direct impact on circulation and oxygen flow to the brain. Imagine there's a string pulling you gently upward from the crown of your head. This not only improves breathing but also engages the right muscles, especially the calves, often called the second heart, because they pump blood back toward the brain. Your steps matter too. Avoid shuffling or dragging your feet. Aim for steady, rhythmic strides, with your heel touching the ground first, then rolling forward to your toes. This movement improves circulation efficiency and keeps your balance steady. Longer intentional steps also activate the large muscle groups that help keep blood moving strongly throughout the body. Breathing plays a bigger role than most people realize. As you walk, breathe deeply and steadily through your nose, expanding your lungs fully. Proper breathing increases oxygen delivery to the brain, helping prevent the very deficiencies that can set the stage for vascular problems. And don't forget about pace. Walking doesn't need to be exhausting to be effective. In fact, a moderate pace, fast enough to slightly elevate your heart rate but still allow you to hold a conversation, is ideal. This ensures good circulation without putting unnecessary stress on fragile blood vessels. One often overlooked factor is hydration. Many strokes happen at night, partly because the body becomes dehydrated throughout the day. If you make walking part of your morning routine, drink a glass of water before heading out. This keeps your blood less viscous and reduces the chance of clot formation. Finally, think about consistency. Walking correctly once won't erase years of poor habits. But walking with good form, timing, and posture every day builds long-term resilience in your circulatory system. Over weeks and months, your vessels adapt, your brain receives more oxygen, and your risk of stroke begins to drop significantly. To illustrate this, I recall a patient named Robert, age 72. He had suffered several small, silent strokes and was losing confidence in his balance. After we adjusted his walking routine, morning walks, upright posture, and hydration, he gradually regained stability. More importantly, his follow-up scans showed improved circulation and fewer risk markers for stroke. His words to me were powerful. "Doctor, I thought walking was hurting me. I didn't realize it just needed to be done the right way." This is the transformation available to you. Walking doesn't have to be a hidden danger. Done correctly, it becomes your daily medicine, strengthening your heart, protecting your brain, and giving you the independence you deserve as you age. And now that you know how to walk the right way, let us bring everything together with a final reflection that will stay with you long after this video ends. We've come full circle. What seemed like a harmless daily habit, the way you walk, when you walk, and how you carry yourself, can actually make the difference between protecting your brain or silently raising your risk of a stroke overnight. You now know that walking immediately after a heavy meal, shuffling your steps with poor posture, or choosing late-night walks can quietly strain your circulation and leave your brain vulnerable. But you've also discovered that by walking at the right time, with the right posture, and with steady, intentional steps, this same habit can transform into one of the most powerful tools for preserving your independence, your memory, and your health. The lesson here is simple. Small changes matter. The way you walk today can shape the way you live tomorrow, and the best part is, it's never too late to start walking the right way. Every step you take with awareness is a step away from risk and a step closer to longevity. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed changes in your balance, fatigue after walking, or even little memory lapses? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might help someone else recognize a warning sign before it's too late. And if this message resonated with you, don't leave without taking one simple action. Subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. Not only will you keep receiving health insights that doctors rarely explain during short appointments, but you'll also be part of a community determined to live longer, stronger, and more independent lives. Your brain is your greatest treasure. Protect it, step by step.